In video 2, I select a few lessons as an illustration of additional ways you can teach about water, again through the lens of geographic information systems. Let's start with the geoinquiries, specifically El Nino. This is a great one to have students dig into weather, sea surface temperature, the interaction of possible warmer sea surface temperature on life on planet Earth. How could it affect precipitation? So the interconnectedness of the human sphere, the anthrosphere, the biosphere, the carbon cycle, the hydrologic cycle, etc. Every one of these geoinquiries is tied to a web interactive map inside ArcGIS Online with some wonderfully rich data layers, as you can see here, global temperature anomalies for different times of the year, for different years. And this one is tied to these questions on El Nino. Again, you can use the questions that are posed in the GeoInquiry, or you can use your own question, or a combination of the two. You can use some existing questions or substitute your own. So wonderful to be able to have these resources at your fingertips. Marine debris, so ocean currents, teaching about trash in the oceans. How did it get there? What are the implications? What's where? Why is it there? And why should we care? Every one of these geoinquiries is tied to a interactive web GIS map, which is inside the ArcGIS platform. You can open it up in the classic viewer or in the new map viewer. Either way, you've got a variety of tools and data sets at your fingertips. In this case, major ocean currents, and specific information about watersheds, for example, Spokane, and how water gets to the ocean from Spokane, Washington. Anyway, warm currents, cold currents, and you see that ocean base map there. It's a wonderfully rich base map. And you can, of course, change the base map to other kinds of base maps. And these features on the map, they have intelligence. That's why they're part of a GIS. They have information behind each one, sometimes animations, as you can see here. You can look at the interaction of ocean currents and prevailing winds. Just an amazing resource. Much more engaging and interactive than a static PDF map. Not that those don't have their place as well. Another one is one I wrote, Predicting Weather with Real-Time Data. This takes advantage of the fact that in a web-based GIS like geographic information systems like ArcGIS Online, for example, you've got the advantage of having real-time weather feeds at your fingertips. So this is part of the learn.arcgis.com gallery of lessons. And in this case, I have you predict the weather. You symbolize the map based on temperature, precipitation, pressure, wind speed, and direction, looking at real-time data feeds like this one right here from basically the time of this video, July 2021, looking at not just USA, by the way, it's a global data set. We're just focused on North America right here, but looking at pressure, wind speed, wind direction, predicting where it's going to rain or sleet or hail as the time of year may be, and looking at temperature gradients. And also in this particular one, toward the end of the lesson, you predict a temperature, a surface temperature based on data. You also predict a pressure grid as well. So you're interpolating points to come up with surfaces and areas. There's also other lessons available on that same learn.arcgis.com gallery, or library is really what it is. You can search by products, so ArcGIS Online, ArcGIS Pro. You can search on themes such as environment or oceans or population change. You can search on different workflows. You can have pathways, so you've got a video and then a lesson, then a story, and then an article that I read. And the other library of lessons, as we talked about a minute ago, is this GeoInquiries lesson gallery on a variety of topics, all standards-based. History, geography, earth science, etc. There's another way of browsing that content, as you see in this classroom atlas right here, where you've got it in sort of an ebook form, chapter 1 being all on American literature, chapter 2 being on earth science, and chapter 3 on environmental science, and so on. ESRI Press books are another great resource. My colleague at the ESRI library just wrote that one, as you see there, on the locators. It's designed for kids, but it's spatial thinking for all ages. And there are all kinds of tutorials and books on women in GIS, GIS tutorial for health, all kinds of topics and themes across the ESRI Press site. The last resource I want to share with you is our own education blog that my team and I contribute to every other day or so, or every week. And so I've got, for example, syllabi for courses and workshops using location analytics and business, and a variety of other topics, and so do my colleagues. So Education Blog, Esri Community, is a place where we do publish short lessons and other resources for you to be successful with GIS in the classroom, webinars, stories from schools and universities, community colleges, technical, tribal colleges, and much more. So those are some resources for you as you launch forward in your journey. Thanks.